tonight, we'll get some inspirational words from Manning Marable, take a look at Purdue Smart Cars, catch up with the Silver Twins, and take a look at this week's community calendar. All this and much, much more coming up.
Being in the middle of basketball season, there's a lot of focus on the Purdue-IU rivalry, but a new proposal is taking the competition off of the court and moving it into the classroom. Laura Hoffman has more.
The Purdue-IU rivalry was on everyone's mind at the 18th Annual Higher Education Day. But instead of competing, the two schools put their differences aside to form a historic partnership.
A hot topic of Higher Education Day was the Indiana Innovation Alliance. Almost 700 people gathered at the State House on Tuesday. Their mission, to rally support for a proposal that will stimulate Indiana's economy.
The Indiana Innovation Alliance hopes to fuse the efforts of academia, business, and government. Purdue President France Cordova said the Alliance will advance bio and life science research in the state, as well as create jobs and spark the economy. At the end of the event, State Representative Sheila Klinker announced that the Ways and Means Committee approved the $35 million alliance. The House and State will make a final decision on the proposal in April.
Many Purdue students living on campus have been anticipating the opening of the First Street Towers, a project that began on June of 2007. For those of you who are interested in moving in, here's a quick taste of what the new residence hall has in store.
Most people are well aware of the newly constructed buildings known as the First Street Towers, located next to Earhart and Harrison residence halls. These towers are planning to bring a total of 365 new rooms to the campus, with each room containing the usual desk, bed, and dresser, with just a few more surprises in store for the students.
We wanted to make it very unique, so we combined an apartment setting with a more traditional residence hall. It's a facility of all single rooms with private bathrooms. The rooms are clustered in groups of 22 rooms per cluster. Each cluster has its own living room, complete with a sofa and some chairs and ottomans, tables, and a flat panel TV. There's also a dinette area and a coffee bar area, study counter, all within that cluster for the students to enjoy. Right off of the living room in the cluster is laundry, so each cluster does have their own laundry area. So we tried to combine this traditional setting with a non-traditional apartment feel, and we think we were successful.
Purdue is looking for an opening day for the towers in the month of August 2009. While the building is full for the fall, there is still a waiting list, and until the end of March, students currently living in the halls can claim any empty rooms. This is Stephen George reporting for Fast Track.
And now here's a heads up on the local weather forecast.
Let's go ahead and start by taking a look at our weather highlight. We've been seeing some cooler than normal with winter temperatures in the area. And we're also going to go ahead and take a look at some snow chances later this weekend, later in my forecast. Let's start by taking a look at our almanac. The high for this time of year is normally about 41. And last year we were at 36, a little bit below normal. But this year we've been actually quite a bit below normal, with highs only in the 20s and lows in the teens overnight. And we will continue to see that for a couple of more days. Taking a look at that Saturday, we see that a clipper system moves in from the north, bringing a low pressure system into our area with a chance for some snow throughout most of central Indiana and throughout the state, possibly up to 1 to 3 inches in most areas of Indiana. Looking ahead at Sunday, we see that the clipper system moves out of our way up to the east, and a high pressure system will move in, bringing us nice clear skies for Sunday. And after Sunday, we'll start to see a warm up later in the week, with highs getting into the upper 30s and into the 40s by Tuesday, 42 on Tuesday with some sunny skies. Our next chance of precipitation returns on Wednesday with a high of 46, and some continued showers throughout the day on Thursday with a high of 47.
Black History Month gives us the opportunity to reflect on the experience of the African American. Manning Marable, historian and professor of African American Studies, spoke to Purdue students on Tuesday. His message: by re-imaging the African American past, we can remake America's future. Brandon Davis has more.
As part of the Spring 2009 Cultural Arts Series, the Black Cultural Center welcomed African American scholar and historian Manning Marable to Fowler Hall last Tuesday night. Marable is the founder and director of African American Studies at Columbia University and the author of numerous books focusing on the African American experience. Marable's speech focused on the hardships African Americans have faced throughout history.
The foundations of the Washington Monument, it goes without saying, everyone in this room should know this, were constructed in part by slaves. The foundation of our Capitol building was constructed in part by slave labor. The White House was constructed largely by slave labor. So when we say that American democracy is compromised in its most fundamental brick and mortar way, we're talking in terms of actual concrete buildings that exist to this day.
Marable elaborated upon the point that history is written by the victors, which in this case would be white Americans, thus relegating black American history to secondary in relation to the overall history of the United States.
The darkest aspects of American history have often been hidden from plain sight because of the power of the past, or at least the power of popularly perceived past.
Marable wants citizens to take another look at history and reacquire their view on the struggles of the average black person in America throughout the development of the country. According to Marable, only by reforming these views can we hope to address racial problems of the future.
Coming up, we have this week's political commentary.
And we'll join Brian Wolfe for more weather notes. Stay tuned.
Nestled in the basement of Hicks Undergraduate Library is Purdue's Digital Learning Collaboratory, or DLC for short. The DLC is a computer lab where students can rent out or reserve digital equipment such as video cameras, laptops, or digital cameras for 1 or 3 nights. The computers and video stations also have software available for video editing on both Apple and PCs. If you run into problems or have any technical questions, you can get help from the friendly staff members. For a complete listing of the DLC's hours, you can go to the website at dlc.purdue.edu.
Have some time to spare in between classes, then stop on by the Purdue University Gallery and Stewart Center to view some of Purdue's most artistic works of art. January 12th to February 22nd is the Earth Text exhibit. These are a series of wooden sculptures that create visual metaphors in book form. Come visit the exhibit Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. or Sunday from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. For more information on this exhibit, visit www.purdue.edu/galleries.